The afternoon sun glowed softly across the outdoor terrace of the luxury resort, where polished glasses sparkled and business executives circled around tables like they owned the world. And in the middle of it all stood a man no one noticed, Arlo Mercer, dressed in a simple gray shirt, sleeves slightly wrinkled, carrying a tray of refreshments as if he truly belonged among the staff. Moments later, laughter erupted from a corner table, sharp enough to cut through the calm. A group of sharply dressed young executives had singled him out, smirking with cruel amusement. And before Arlo could even react, a stream of deep red wine splashed across his shirt, dripping down his arms, staining the fabric like someone had stabbed dignity itself. The crowd gasped. The executives laughed. And no one, not one person, knew that the man they just humiliated was the silent founder and majority owner of the company about to finalize a $600 million merger with their firm. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and treating every human with respect, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to Good Soul. It truly helps stories like these reach more hearts. Arlo stood frozen for a moment, feeling the warm liquid sinking into his skin. He could hear whispers around him, the sharp sting of embarrassment burning worse than the wine itself. He had made the choice to dress simply, to walk unnoticed, to observe with his own eyes how people behaved when they thought no one important was watching. He wanted to see character, real character, before announcing the massive partnership deal the corporate world had been buzzing about for months. But he hadn't expected this. Not the wine. Not the mockery. Not the sudden reminder of his lonely childhood, where boys in cleaner clothes treated him like he wasn't worth the dust on their shoes. For a small moment, a part of him felt like that boy again. He regained himself slowly, lifting his eyes toward the group responsible. The leader of them, a tall, polished man named Brent Forrester, chuckled as if Arlo existed only to entertain him. Brent's friends joined in, whispering little jabs, all pretending not to care who heard them. To them, Arlo was a nobody, a background figure, someone whose only importance was how quickly he cleaned up the stain. But Arlo didn't respond. Instead, he set the tray down with quiet precision and walked toward the restroom, feeling every stare on his back yet showing none of the storm inside him. Once he reached the mirror, he stared at his reflection, wine dripping down like tears. He breathed deeply, reminding himself that moments like this didn't define him. He had built his company from nothing, from nights spent coding in dark rooms and learning marketing from library books when he couldn't afford courses. He had fought too many invisible battles to be shaken by men who mistook arrogance for strength. When he returned to the terrace, a sudden shift began. A woman named Karina Wells, one of the junior analysts, approached him with concern written across her face. She had seen everything. Unlike the others, she didn't turn away. She offered him a towel, apologizing even though she hadn't done anything wrong. In her eyes, Arlo saw the rare kind of empathy that had grown almost extinct in corporate spaces. Her simple gesture restored a small piece of him that the wine had tried to wash away. As the meeting resumed, the executives from Brent's firm grew louder, bragging about the upcoming deal and how much power they would gain from the merger. Arlo listened quietly, watching them celebrate triumphs they believed they deserved. None of them knew that the decision of whether the deal would proceed rested entirely in the hands of the men whose shirt they ruined. By mid-afternoon, the official partners from both companies arrived, and the atmosphere shifted into formal seriousness. The resort staff began setting up microphones for the announcement, and the crowd gathered near the stage. Brent and his colleagues positioned themselves in front, preparing to bask in the spotlight. But when the event host tapped the microphone and said, "Please welcome the founder and majority owner of Mercer Innovations, Mr. Arlo Mercer," every face in the audience froze. Arlo stepped forward, wine-stained shirt and all. A wave of shock rippled through the gathering. Brent's smirk disappeared entirely, replaced by a pale, breathless horror. It was as if the air itself had stopped moving. Arlo spoke calmly, his voice carrying strength not from anger but from truth. He acknowledged the months of negotiation, the value of partnership, and the potential for greatness. But then he shifted the entire atmosphere with one sentence: "Before signing a deal worth over $600 million, I needed to know who I was truly partnering with." Gasps. Silence. Brent's jaw clenched. Arlo did not name names. He did not embarrass anyone directly. He simply spoke about respect, how the true test of character was how people treated those they believed had nothing to offer. As he finished, he announced his decision: the deal would move forward, but leadership restructuring within Brent's firm was non-negotiable. and by morning, Brent Forrester's employment was terminated. Karina, the only one who had shown kindness, was offered a leadership position. If this story touched your heart or reminded you of the power of kindness, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to Good Soul. Your support helps us keep spreading meaningful stories. Special request: comment, respect matters, to show the world that humanity still exists.